What's happened here?
Are we on?
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry. Welcome back.
I forgot to tell you, Frank doesn't talk.
Oh, it's all up to me. Yay, I get to do all the talking today. This is really exciting.
Are we live? Is it official?
Yeah, we're
I
live.
think we're live.
I can't breathe. I'm going to be honest with you.
You're not supposed to be talking.
Yeah, it says Frank doesn't. Welcome to Halloween at Cut Up and Sew.
Oh, it's just me. I got to put my hat on because the little hair that I do have left is a little messy. So.
It's good to see you all this morning. I'm so glad to be back after 4 weeks, I think, of being away.
Yes, welcome back to this, right?
Yes.
Well, I was excited. So I brought this. I love this costume.
Mhm.
If you have no idea who this is, watch Donnie Darko. That's all I'll say. And I was like, oh, I'll wear that. And then as I was thinking this morning, I was like, I can't talk in it. I can't breathe in it. I was like, so it's going to be a very short-lived costume. But that's all right. It's
Pretty
fun.
funny.
It's almost Halloween. Happy Halloween Eve, technically.
That's right.
Whoop, whoop. I love your shirt. And thank you for being festive with the... No Joanns were hurt.
Stuck in your head,
No Joanns were hurt in the making of this
It
live.
was a rough day. Yes.
All right, let me throw Frank over here for a minute. All right, let me jump on so we can say hello to everybody. Joann, welcome back officially.
Well,
You said
thank
you had a
you.
wonderful trip. Everything
I
was
did,
smooth,
I
and
did. My son got married. It was a great wedding. It was really nice.
awesome.
Yeah, it was a good wedding.
Well, we missed you, but I'm glad you got to go do that. That's
Mm,
awesome.
me
Now
too,
that's
me too.
Washington. No, where'd you-
California, Southern
California.
California.
I knew it was over there, far,
Yeah.
as far as you can go.
So we were actually going home. We visited family, friends, and great weather, the things I knew I was going to miss the most. And it was great to be there.
That's awesome.
So we're glad to be home, though.
Now it's hot. It's coming off. Don't worry, I have clothes on. I wouldn't do that to you, Joann, I promise. Or any of you.
It's so exciting being here. You
Good-
just never know what's going to happen.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Martha. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Susie. Good morning. Did I say Martha already? I did. Good morning, everybody. So, yay, Joann's back. I know I'm still this is falling off, so I have to just go ahead and take it all the way off. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to focus.
It's okay. It's okay. I want you to be able to focus.
I know it's necessary.
So
So
that's what it takes.
we got a lot going on. So I'm trying to think of all the stuff that you missed. Like I had to do 2 Quilt Talk lives solo because
Mhm.
Tony had a retreat,
Mhm.
which was really fun because they were watching it at home and they put me on a big screen. It was cute.
You're so good.
But I tell you, it's interesting trying to come up with things to talk about
Mhm.
and not being the type of quilter that can say, yeah, I'll give you some tips and tricks. I was
Uh-huh.
like fumbling of what can I share? So I think we talked about hoops, like embroidery hat hooping,
Mhm.
and maybe some machine cleaning. I
Yeah.
don't remember now. Episode 37. We've been doing it 37
Wow.
times. Not we've missed a couple, but
Mhm.
so
That's awesome.
I'm happy that you're back.
Mhm. Well, thank
So-
you.
Before we let her take the stage and start talking about some tips and things you actually want to learn about, let's start with this pile of fabric here. Actually, let's start with this, which will segue into this. Tony completed our besties sample, and it is stunning. And the camera picks it up well, doesn't it, Tony?
I think so.
What's amazing, and I know you can't see, is the top and the bottom are what do you call that? Is there a term?
I don't think so.
It's jagged edges, and it's awesome. It just gives it such a cool, unique vibe. I don't know. I love it. So
And I have to ask, how are you going to bind that?
I have made bias binding. And
It's gonna. So you'll use a bias binding so you can go around those angles.
did the can you see that if I stand in front of it? Maybe see.
Well, you
Totally
can
see
definitely
it.
see it on the top.
Well,
they can't see
on the camera,
camera.
it's not high enough. So I will be honest. I knew I'd love the colors with besties. I love anything Tula does. I just didn't think I would like this line, but it is so much better in person.
I agree.
I mean, it really is. I mean, so, okay, we've got pre-cuts. Now, the yardage is, I believe I actually saw the invoice. So that means it's being shipped, which is awesome. But we do have a very limited number of the 10-inch squares and fat quarter bundles, which
So what did you use for this?
they're awesome.
Fat quarter bundle.
This was all a fat quarter bundle. And the pattern, what was the?
It's Delight by J.
It's Delight by Jaybird Quilts. And then the ruler,
It's Hexamore.
Hexamore ruler, which we do have coming in. So you have to come in and see this because it's awesome. But we do have this stuff for you to make this if you would like to do so.
Who makes the Hexamore ruler?
Julie, Jaybird Quilt.
Jaybird
I love
Quilts.
Jaybird quilts.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Tony should be a sponsor for them.
Yeah.
But everything she does is awesome. So yeah, it'd be a good choice. I just love it. It's such a cool collection. And I mean, I'm not anti dogs and cats. I love all the animals, but I think the ones that I like the best are the hamster, the goldfish, and probably the turtle.
I like the tortoise up there. The blue one.
The blue, where's he at? Right here.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, it's stunning. You have to see it in person. And we do have pre-cuts. Not many though. So they're going to go fast. Yeah. And when they're gone, unfortunately, they are gone. But the reason we have all these pre-cuts here versus like bolts or yardage of fabric is because we've got a lot of pre-cuts and kits. I think for the first year, we didn't really do that. We tried a couple things, some strips, and they didn't move. But we've been really finding ways to get really nice kits because we have sample makers in-house that can put kits together for us. Unfortunately, I can't show you this when it's up there, but I just wanted to show you, we've packaged it nicely. We've got the pattern. Some people just love a kit. Like, do you ever buy pre-made,
No.
not pre-made, but kits?
No.
You don't? So there's different types of people. I've heard people go, oh, I don't have to worry about picking the fabric. I don't have to, takes all the guessing and everything out of it. I just want to make that quilt. Boom, here you go. Some people go, I love that quilt, but I want to make with my colors.
Right.
Or
And one of the things I do like about kits, I don't buy them myself. I've always been against them. However, one thing I've noticed is
anti-quilt
that
kits.
I'm sorry. But one thing I've really noticed is that the people who use these really start to develop. If you're paying attention, you develop an idea of putting colors together. So like you get this kit here and it probably has a bunch of stuff in it that you would not choose for yourself. But, you see how they start working together. And so those kits are a great way to really start to learn color composition.
Yeah, hone your skills and stuff by, I mean, that's awesome. I mean,
then
sure.
You don't have to think about it. And it has this great bag.
Put whatever you want in afterward. That's right.
That's right.
Reusable bags. That's exactly right. So I love it. And we have, I don't know, there's a handful of them that we have. We did introduce these at the quilt show, I think, but if you didn't get a chance to come, we still have a few left. And I think in theory, the goal is that we have the sample for you to see, obviously, in the shop. And I think we still have all the samples for any of the kits that we have, with the exception of this one, because it was such a limited number that we got. This is an art gallery. Can I see that all right? I loved this. I think maybe the hexagons scare people, but this is not going to be a difficult quilt.
No, and hexagons aren't scary. So if
it is
you're
to a
looking-
lot of people. That's why I say that, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be because they're not as hard as they look.
Right. Well, if you have the right
Exactly.
tool, the job's always easier. Yeah. So, and these come in a bunch of different colorways. So these are awesome. I don't think people have seen this. And the sad thing is we had such a small amount. We didn't make a sample. I'm still on the fence about that one. Obviously, just fat quarter bundles. I mean, these are probably the most popular fat quarter bundles.
That's a rainbow.
This is what?
A rainbow.
Rainbow.
It is a rainbow.
Mhm.
I mean, and honestly, when you buy the bundles, the idea is that all of them are coordinating fabrics, which is really nice. Clearly, you don't have to have a project where you use all of them, but also you buy a bundle, you get a discount versus if you bought however many pieces there are. I don't know how many are there. If you bought them individually, you're going to spend more money. Of course, we have a few. I don't think we have many of these left. Halloween quilt kits. Now, these are 25% off. And we have Halloween flavored, what are these, strips?
Yep, 2.5 inch.
2.5 inch, yeah. 2.5 inch strips. And then this one's been here for a while. And I think the problem is because a lot of people bought a lot of the collections from this. You can't see it well
Right.
in this. And so shame on me for not opening it up. In fact, that's probably what we'll do. But just showing you guys, we have a lot of pre-cuts and a lot of quilt kits and a lot of things that we didn't used to have. And so I don't think we talk about it enough. Tony, I'm glad you brought these over because it's something we don't focus on a lot. And we've got a lot of new quilters, like a lot of, beginner, confident beginner, new quilters. And so and I see them struggling. We try to help in the store. In fact, we love helping pick fabric, but you can just see it's frustrating for some of them.
Yes, it is.
And this can help, I think.
Yeah, it's a learned. Some people come by it naturally, but most people don't. So if you're one of those people that's struggling, know that you're not alone. And here at the shop, there's lots of people who will help you pick out fabric and lead you in the right direction. But these bundles are really neat because there's a big variety of fabric in here, and they do all go together. So it's like you can buy that and
the guessing's done.
And,
yeah,
and it'll work.
Yeah, and definitely don't get frustrated if choosing matching colors is not your thing. Don't sweat it. Like there are people that can help. I mean, for sure. Also, you'll get comfortable and you'll find your color combinations that are your go-to, and then you're going to feel comfortable there. And then after you get more, I guess, advanced, the goal is to get out of your comfort zone. Like we talked about that before. But yeah, we're here to help, and these oftentimes do make it easier. Now, these are oftentimes also expensive. Just so happens it's our 2-year anniversary. Whoop, whoop. You like that segue? So that's the perfect time to get them because they're going to be on sale. So on November the 1st, which is insane that it's Wednesday, 2 years Wednesday. Can you believe that? It is our kickoff to our 2-year anniversary celebration. So it's been 2 years, but two days of sales wasn't good enough. So we did 4.
Wow.
So we're going from Wednesday to Saturday.
So on your 4-year anniversary, you're going to do
8 days. I guess that's a whole week. I guess we'll have to open on Sunday and then carry it over.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. I've set the bar too high now. We didn't think about this. Well, anyway, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
And we will be here for 4 years and many, many more. But so November 1st to November 4th. And so they're kind of themed, which is fun. So on November 1st, and I think I've pushed it back even a little bit further, we're going to do a cake cutting ceremony, which will be really fun. So come and cut cake and have cake, eat cake, but also just kind of celebrate with us because it's a special day for us. And we want to share it with you guys because without you guys, what's the point? We wouldn't be here. So I think we're going to do it around 3. Okay. I'd originally said 2:00. So we're looking for 3:00-ish cake cutting.
Is that tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Okay.
November the 1st.
Okay.
Wednesday. I think there's something in your...
I have a headache.
But so all day on Wednesday, we're doing 30% off all fabric. Except Tula. Don't be mad at me. I know I said all fabric, and then I realized there is one exception. So one exception to the rule is the Tula. But all of the other fabric is 30% off. That's pretty crazy. I like to do sales, but 30% is like dangerously like we want to be here for 4 years. So can't do that often. But there is $7.99 fabric and $9.99 fabric. You can double dip on that day as well. So 30% off $7.99. You guys can do the math. It's a lot less.
I can't, but thank you.
No, you can't. Yeah, you guys might be able to. It's cheap.
It's
inexpensive because nothing we have is cheap. So that is November 1st. And I know I see a bunch of comments. I will go back and check here in just a second. November 2nd. And by the way, we're going to have samples, I think, all days. A lot of people have seen our samples that we have around the store and they ask, what do we do with it? Well, perfect time for Christmas gifts. So we're going to be trying to sell those for as minimal as possible. We're not trying to make money, but we would just love for other people to enjoy them. So samples and fabric all day on November 1st, November 2nd. Oh, baby, lock that price in. Baby lock sale. I know. I'm clever, right?
Really
it was good, right?
Yeah.
Wait for the next one.
I'm really nervous now.
No, but so that's the lowest pricing we've ever done or ever have been able to do on baby locks are on that Thursday. I think it's November 2nd. It's a Thursday. Then on Friday, take home a Genome E.
Very cute.
Because it is pronounced Janome, by the way.
Are you coming up with these yourself?
This is all me. I'll take credit for it. Don't act so
You're
surprised.
awesome.
Yeah, you're
awesome.
like, you did
You're
this?
just awesome.
You didn't Google? No. But so it's a Janome sale on that Friday, which is November the 3rd.
Good.
Yeah. We're gonna make it through this, all right. And then on Saturday, November the 4th, which is the final day, kind of the wrap up, we're gonna have like everything else. So we've got still the samples, but we've got embroidery patterns, stabilizer, non-embroidery patterns. So all patterns, designs. What else? Panels. So panels have been on sale for like 2 months. Buy 2, get 1 free.
Wow.
So that will continue, but on that November the 1st, it'll be 30% off. Wow. So take advantage for sure. My wife really wants some of the panels gone, so come help me, please. No, so I'm excited because we can kind of focus on different aspects. And truthfully, people are like, "Why can't you do the 30% all 4 days?" Again, we'd like to be here in 4 years, so, and that's a little crazy. So please, if at all humanly possible, come and hang out with us and do the cake cutting ceremony, because that's super important. We would love to share it with you guys. And be a part of it. We'll do a video and stuff. We might even go live so that those of you, Triss and Jody and everybody else who's not here can and Marcia can celebrate with us. But it'd be cool to have a store packed of people to do some, and you get to eat cake.
That's important.
Hello, cake. Worry about the sale afterwards, right?
What kind of cake?
I don't know yet.
And I want you to know, in spite of the chainsaw and these scary things, it will be very safe to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
This will not only be your happy place, it'll be a safe place.
Yeah, and I realized that gives us 1 day to take down all of these decorations. I was like, oh man.
Shoot.
Yeah, well, you should see my house.
I wanted to get we have pillars in the front at our front door, and I wanted to get a couple of those big skeletons and wrap them around the pillars and have one on the rooftop, kind of looking down. Maybe next year.
You didn't do it?
Well, we've been away.
Oh, that's true. All right. So my apology. Good morning, a lot of people. I won't mention everybody because I've missed a bunch, but let's see. What did I see? Good morning from Georgia. Hey, Shelby. Good morning, Denise. Nebraska. Love the kits. They're awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm pretty picky when it comes to which kits. I don't buy a lot of kits. I love that we're making our own now, because then we can really be choosy. But thank you. The kits are awesome. Let's see. What did I see? There's Marcia from Chile, Kentucky. Going to get much colder tomorrow. It was like 32 last time we talked, Marcia. Wow. Yeah.
I must admit, I was really happy when I came home because when I left, the weather was just beginning to change. And then in California, which has perfect weather, it was perfect. And I was thinking, oh, I hope I don't have to go home to humidity. But I came home to this beautiful Florida weather.
I'm telling you.
Like, oh, I'm so glad I'm here.
I was hot in the rabbit outfit.
Yeah.
So what does that say?
Is that a rabbit?
Well, Frank the bunny, Frank the rabbit. Yeah, it was a...
Okay.
Well, watch Donnie Darko. Or maybe don't.
No, maybe don't.
It's not
I'll take your word.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Anyway, don't get me started on 80s and 90s like horror films. We'll be here. It's a whole nother show. Okay, so Martha asked, is that all Tula or just new Tula? Oh, she got to call me out.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Were you? Probably all Tula. I tell you what, definitely the new Tula. I can't do that. We will have a sale on Tula, not the new Tula. We've got a whole wall of Tula, just in case you guys didn't know. We will have a sale. I don't think I can swing 30% though. So it'll be on sale. Pretty much everything's going to be on sale. Tula's a tough one, you guys. You guys should know that. I mean, the demand is high, but also it's expensive. It's worth it. You get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
So
you get beautiful fabric. Just the fabric itself is beautiful.
I know.
But all of your fabric is beautiful.
I love my baby lock. Fantastic, Nancy. Can't go wrong with a Janome. Fantastic, Marcia. Okay. Good morning from Hinesville.
Where is that?
Where's Hinesville? Hinesville, where? You got to educate us here.
Yeah. And Marcia asked if you get any of these deals online.
Can we get any of these deals? Well, Marcia, you know you can. She's VIP from Louisville, Kentucky, yo. But yes, but I got to figure out how to swing that. You know what you got to do? Yeah, that's exactly right. We have so many things online that it would throw our website into a whole tornado of not fun. But if you call us, we'll absolutely honor it.
Okay.
So you can go to our website, cutupandsew.com, shop around, make a little list, and then call us, and we will happily give you the honor the discount. That's a good question, actually. Yeah, we got to figure out how to make things a little more online and in person. I mean, the goal is obviously to have you guys come into the shop, but we have so many friends that are not in Palm Coast locally that's something that we really need to figure out going forward. Tony's laughing, so she give me, Josh, you're fired. I'm one of your best. Oh, Janae, that is my apologies. I am fired. I know exactly who you are, and that is Georgia. I didn't know Hinesville though. Yeah, so forgive me. I know who you are, and I know you live in Georgia, but Hinesville, I can't.
You're fired.
Yeah, that's great. And that's well deserved. You should have called me out because I didn't even read her name, Janae. I know Janae. I hope you're sewing on that sweet machine. All right. So November 1st through 4th, party's on. Pre-cuts.
Be fun.
Today is the last day, second to last day, because I'm not here tomorrow. So in my brain, like it's the last day for Halloween sales.
Is this like a holiday for you, Halloween?
Oh, yeah.
It just happens
to be on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not that guy. I would have come to work. I would probably left a little bit early. You know, I got to set up my bench and turn on all my animatronics for zero, trick-or-treaters.
Did you put signs up to point to your house?
I'm going to. I'm going to put one down at the end. We have candy. I don't know how to bribe people to go down our street. We have candy. Would that do it?
That'll do it.
Or if you say full-size candy bars.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not doing that. We got Costco candy, which is great, but they're the small ones.
I like the small ones. Some of the small candies, they taste different than the same thing in a bigger version. And
True.
they're better.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. Okay, it's all good. Thank you, Janae. Aren't you happy I said your name right? Janae, not Jan. Jane. Getting points back. All right, we have derailed.
Okay.
So I think, is there anything that I'm missing?
When you get back to classes.
Classes. Yeah, I mean, well, we've been rocking with classes. The Tony has the calendar full, so they are filling up quickly. Cutupandsew.com. Pre-register, register as early as possible. I'll just say that. It's a good problem to have that we're filling these classes.
We have a paper piecing class on Wednesday.
Paper piecing class on Wednesday.
Foundation.
Oh, right. It's actually foundation paper piecing basics.
Mm-hmm.
So that is foundation paper piecing. So that's with a machine,
Yes.
not hand sewing. And we had someone ask, I've never done it. Is this a good class to take? It is the basics. And it is with somebody who we've never had teach here. I've seen her at all the quilt shows. Well, not all of them, but we've been talking at the quilt shows, and she lives here in Palm Coast. So we're excited to have her. And I always forget her cool name. It's something Granny. Granny. Yeah, forgive me, Granny. But she's awesome. She's a ton of fun. And I think it's going to be an awesome class. So we definitely have spots, and that's Wednesday. Yeah. That's on November 1st. Hello. Come take a class, take advantage, and eat cake.
Exactly.
Yeah. My goodness, what a perfect day.
What a perfect day.
Yeah.
And include your kit, fabric, and everything. You know, show up with your machine.
Yeah. Just show up. And with a machine, if you'd like to do it on yours, we do have some mechanical machines that you're more than welcome to use in the classroom.
And paper piecing, if you're a little nervous about it, paper piecing is counterintuitive, but it is a very cool technique. And when you have a good teacher, it comes along really nicely. And you'll be glad you know it because it comes in handy in all kinds of different situations. I love it. It's good.
Cool. Fantastic. Well, people they hear paper piecing and their brain goes to English paper piecing.
No, it's different. And once again, it's not on the
but we've been doing
it's not hand sewn, it's all on the machine.
We've been doing a lot of English paper piecing. I mean, just because the club that Tony has on the first Saturday of every month, right? Right after the Tula Club has been popping, jamming. It's fun.
Yeah, so. I've talked to some people doing it and they're really enjoying it.
All right. And then of course we'll get into Christmas and stuff later, but we can't talk about Christmas. It's Halloween. until Halloween's over.
Have some respect.
Have some respect for the holiday. I'm excited about Christmas too. We'll have all sorts of fun stuff. So,
Okay.
all right, what do we got behind you? What are we going to talk about? Let me give you some space. Welcome back. The floor is yours.
Okay. Well, this quilt here, the Star Quilt, is the quilt for December on Friday morning quilting. And I'm sure you can't tell this by looking at it, but it's in several pieces. So there's one piece here. This is a piece. This is a piece. This is a piece, and then all of this is here. It's not paper pieced. It's just easily put together on its own. It's 2 classes, the first and second week in December, and you can do almost anything. If you wanted to put tulle in here, you could. You could put Christmas fabrics in here. This is a little bit older quilt for me, and so it's portrayed in the more
Thank you.
it's portrayed in some of the more traditional colors as opposed to some of the brighter things that we have here, but there's lots of brights that'll go in here really nicely. And
I love that it's, sorry to cut you off. I love, and when I was hanging it up standing here, I didn't notice it. And I looked in the camera and I saw that the angle of the star, it's just very different. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a cute little thing for Christmas, and it easily can be done by Christmas. It's a pretty easy project to put together.
Well, we just got some gorgeous
I'm
celestial.
just sick.
Were you really?
Well, that or the red and white.
Well, we just got a whole red and white line in that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty.
It's not, it's a little bit brighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like a little bit traditional, kind of almost, I hate to use the word muted because I actually like this. It's soft, but it's brighter. But I was also thinking that we have the celestial line that we showed last week. That is the opposite. It's bright, dark, rich purples and stuff, but it would look really pretty with that.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of options for this, and
Yeah.
it's really fun. This is a pieced border. It's all squares, but you don't have to do that. It has a little churn dash corners, but like I said, pretty easy to do. You learn borders and putting things together, and a little bit different way of doing things.
You also get to experience the greatest quilting class on the planet. Like, so, and take no offense, Tony, you know what I'm saying? But I say that because like, I love your group. And I've said this so many times on here. It is this like kind of this just warm, fun, anybody is welcome. It's all of our classes are like that. But I love your group because they've been together. Like it feels like from the beginning since we got here. And I think that's pretty close to true.
Close to truth, yeah. It
So
changes, but
so there's not a ton of spots available. But anybody that joins, they're just welcomed right in. That's why I say I love that. Your education is phenomenal. But that aside, we all knew that. So it's more about like that core group that just sticks together. And I would love to see people join and become to grow that.
It really is it's just a neat group of women.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things I'm very protective and very proud of because they're just great. They have come a long way in their quilting abilities, and it's really neat to see that. They just love to have people come in and join them too. It just very sharing group.
Super sharing. And it's cool to have seen them grow. Like it's just been awesome.
Yeah.
Before you continue, Janae, we'll talk. We've got Solaris classes planned starting in January. There's a Solaris club that's going till October that will focus on any technique that you need or would like to learn. There's some IQ designs and stuff, IQ design classes that are in the works as well. So that's a pretty requested class. It's just tough to get the right educator for that. So I'm working on it. And then Angelina asked, will you ever consider comment sold? We talked about comment sold one time. I looked into it. Tony's super familiar with it. You used to do it. The timing wasn't right for us. It's still definitely on my radar. But we're really focusing on here and strengthening the classes that we got going here and local. And we're trying to do some classes virtually as well, which we have been. But comment sold I see it in our future. I just don't know when. That's a whole massive commitment and a lot of work. Would you guys buy something? Because honestly, that's what it takes. Because it's an investment.
On your
time and money, and yeah, on the shop's part,
It's a
time more than anything. But also, I mean, you got to pay for that service, and there's features, and you got to have it done right, and so it would have to really be worth it. So
yeah.
until then,
Takes a lot of people, as far as I can do, because you need the person who's on the computer taking the orders. Needs
Tony's like, man, she was
Never
a
mind.
one-woman show.
I did it for 2 years.
But yeah, it does. But you have to learn
There's
it,
a
be
lot of
comfortable with
pieces
it.
of
So
it,
yeah. So definitely, just I'll thank you for asking. It's on the radar, and when the time is right, we'll do it for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Hi, Kitty. Sorry, Joann. I will stop talking.
It's okay. You don't have to stop talking. It's your shop.
No, well, now it's your show.
Okay, so for today, one of the things have been working on is I've been working on a Christmas quilt for my son, and Josh had this really wonderful set of fabric come in that was the steampunk fabric,
Oh yeah.
and I just thought, when I saw that, I thought that has my son's name written all over it. So I decided I would make these stars. So it was going to have these mariner stars in it. And one of the things that you do with these mariner stars is you have this applique section in here. And I started thinking about that applique. And I don't know about you, but I love applique. I love seeing it on quilts. I love the dimension it gives quilts. But I'm horrible at it. And I started out with needle turn, which was like, that's stupid. Why would anybody do that? And then I used freezer paper. And then I did something. Something else where you turn the edges, and I tried what is it when it's raw edge, which I didn't like. And I had all of these methods that I hated doing, and I just didn't want to do it. And then I was at a show, and I saw a demonstration by the woman who developed a product called Appliquick. And Appliquick is a fusible interfacing. And so it's fusible on one side and not on the other. And it's a little stiff. When you wash it, it loses that stiffness. It gets softer. So, if you look at this and you say, oh, that's really stiff, I wouldn't want that in my quilt, just know that it would get softer as time goes on. But the stiffness is important, because what you do is you draw out your design on your Appliquick paper, and then you iron it onto your fabric. So here I have a circle of fabric, which I have ironed a piece of Appliquick on the back of it. And so I have thank you, because that's hard to, is it any easier on this one?
Yeah, that might be actually better.
Okay. So a long time ago, the problem with Appliquick is it's extremely expensive. The interfacing itself is expensive. The other thing that the person who developed Appliquick did was she came up with these rods, which are really nice, and I love working with them. But once again, they are stupid expensive. She has scissors, which are beautiful, and they're serrated on one edge, and she's got two sizes. She has this size and a little bit bigger, but they're designed to be they have a little resting place here for your finger. They're just very easy to use and very comfortable. She just has a lot of, they work for that too, but please. I'm not going to let you have
Sorry. Sharp objects. My apologies.
It's Halloween. What can you say? So anyway, so all of the Appliquick stuff, although it works beautifully, and I'll show you, this is a quilt that I made using all of the Appliquick products.
Oh, wow.
And it was a prize-winning quilt in a show. And so this is all done with Appliquick. And this is the only quilt I've ever done that has this amount of applique on it. And so I'm very proud of it. Nobody's allowed to put it on a bed.
This is great.
But this was all done with Appliquick. So you can see why I like it, because look how perfect all of these pieces are, no matter what size they are.
Does that show in the camera all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's hand done.
It's all hand done. So anyway,
a crazy person.
So anyway, I started thinking about it, and I started thinking, you know, I would like to teach my class how to use this, but my shop doesn't, the shop that I was working at the time didn't carry all this and did not want to carry it all. And so I had to come up with another way. So what I have found is that if you use a Pellon featherweight interfacing that is fusible, and a couple of tools that you may even already have in your sewing room, a purple thing, and a point turner. So what, and
What?
I don't have any glue. I don't have a glue pen. So what you do is you take a glue pen, which unfortunately is on my
We probably
sewing
have
table.
one, but that's all right. Yeah, you guys know what a glue pen.
So you
is,
take your
what it looks
glue
like. We can-
pen and you place glue right around the edge of the interfacing. And then once you've done that, you're going to take
Can I hold
your,
it for you?
yes, that would be wonderful. You're going to take your point turner and your purple thing. You're going to take the flat side of the purple thing, put it right along the edge, and then you'll turn just like this as you go around. And it turns so that you have a perfect circle. So you can see that these are perfectly turned circles on this Mariner Star.
And I've got to correct you on one thing. It's purple fang.
Fang. No, can't say
That's
that. It's just too stupid. So anyway,
great.
so anyway, I'm sorry.
No, it's
So
fine.
anyway, it makes perfect applique. Now, if you're thinking, oh, but what about, you know, like a heart shape with the cleavage there or the points? They're all just as easy to do. And you just, you know, you're using your glue, you're turning it. Typically what I would do with a circle is I would actually cut it out, cut the inside out here. And then I would save whatever I cut out. And I'd cut it out before I pressed it on here. I'd save whatever I cut out and use it for something else. So all of these little pieces that I have left over after cutting out other circles, I save them in a little baggie because there'll always be a smaller circle or a smaller piece that I want to use, and it'll work, and I can use it. I can use this for that. And
We talked about scraps last week. Save your scraps, even your
interfacing.
Yeah.
Especially when it's so expensive. But you know, you can do the same thing with the Pellon interfacing. So if you're kind of interested in applique, but maybe you've tried the other things, or maybe you've just looked at it and thought that's just too hard, or that's just too fussy. I always found the freezer paper just too fussy for me. It's just too many things I had to do. This is just really nice and simple. The only downside of this that I have figured out is that you have every piece, you have to cut out a piece of your whatever interfacing you're going to use. You have to cut out a separate one for every single piece that you're going to make. So every circle, every flower, every whatever is going to have its own piece. And that's the only downside. When I sew the interfacing, I do hand sew my interfacing. I mean, I hand sew my piece onto the background. And when I do that, I use the Deco Bond or the Invisafill, which is the Deco Bond is
Deco Bob.
I'm sorry, Deco Bob.
We were talking about Deco Bond earlier. See, I always do it.
Yeah.
Deco Bob, which is the Wonderfill, it's 80 weight.
The Deco
60
Bob.
or 80.
The Deco Bob is 80 weight.
Yeah.
And the
Invisifill's 100.
and the Invisible, and so both of those are thin enough that you don't need to look at, say, okay, well, this is white, I need white thread, or this is black, I need black thread. You can use the same color thread for everything because it's thin. And the nice thing about it is if you're getting a little bit older, like I am, you can still thread the needles because the thread is thin.
Because it's so thin.
Because it's so thin. That's right. So you can still thread it.
Just in case is this something I carry? What is this
this is Applique, and you don't
Applique.
carry
No.
this. It's hard to find it. I can only find
okay.
it online, and there's only a couple of places that I found that sell it.
Well, it's stupid expensive, you said.
it's
So let's go
stupid
with your route. Anyway, that's great.
That's right.
I was just curious. Applique. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that. So,
Yeah.
okay.
And right now,
And this we do carry.
you probably have one of these. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a clover tool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It's
we can
just-
get them if you'd like one.
Yeah.
We always had the purple thing.
Mhm. Yeah, so these are things that, you know, and you may even, I mean, I had one of these in my sewing room forever and never used it.
Right.
So now you have a use for it.
There you go.
And so the feather light, this is a little, Josh does carry this, but Tony assures me that eventually they'll get the feather light in. But this is a little lightweight, but it might work. The only thing you're looking for is something that'll be stiff enough so that you can turn the edge, and you don't want it too stiff because that's still going to be under your quilting.
And it's one-sided fusible because you're just using the
One-sided.
back, and then you're putting the little line of glue
Mhm.
around it to turn.
Yeah, and when you go to put this on when you put your applique piece onto the background, you just put a little spot of glue in the center, and that'll hold it in place while you're sewing. You can put pins if you want to, but I just use a little bit of glue.
I love that fabric.
Yeah, amazing. You bought it.
That was one of ours?
Yeah.
Yes. It's in the beginning. It's a new line we just.
Oh, it's the new one.
Mhm.
Oh, you know, it's so funny. On the bolt, you probably don't see it.
No, you don't.
And so I was just like, man, it's like little stained glass. I have good taste.
This is interesting. I actually found this pattern, the pattern for what I'm working on here in Pensacola. But I looked at the pattern and I thought, Josh has all that fabric. And I don't usually use a fabric, and I don't usually use all the fabric. I don't even use a pattern usually. And when I get a pattern, I don't use the fabric that it suggests. But on this one, I looked at it and I thought, I want my quilt to look just like that.
Yeah, I get it.
So-
It's so pretty.
Yeah, so I did buy the.
That's so funny. I recognize both of these and I assumed, but I was like, man, I guess we didn't get that one.
You did.
Oh, cool.
You did. I bought it all from you.
Fantastic.
So anyway,
This is great.
applique is achievable even if you don't see yourself as an applique person. I think it makes me look like I know what I'm doing.
She knows what she's doing. But that's awesome. We actually have had a few people ask for a beginner or just a confident beginner applique class. And so that's something that we'll talk about on Wednesday or whenever, Tony, because that's something I don't think we've ever offered.
Not since I-
We'll fix that.
Well, if you want to do it with applique or with
No,
fusible interfacing,
we don't want to do it with applique.
you want to do it the inexpensive way,
No offense if
the
there's any
cost-effective
applique.
way, the cost-effective way.
Yeah, that's great. Applique is such a cool technique. I've personally never tried it. Well, I mean, I've done the old school, like I just put it on and sew around,
Mhm.
you know. So this is cool. I think you just get everything's neater and tighter and cleaner.
It just adds a dimension to a quilt. It's just beautiful.
Yep. By the way, good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Rena. So to recap, don't buy applique. No, just joking. But thank you for that. That's awesome. And we'll work on some applique classes. You want to teach?
Sure.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Problem solved. Look at that. November 1st through November 4th. It is our 2-year anniversary. So come out and hang out with us. If at all humanly possible, come in on that Wednesday. I know it's the middle of the week.
we have a class.
There is a class, which you should come to. It starts 10:30 probably, if I had to guess, which is a foundation paper piecing basics. That's a mouthful. Which is awesome. And then we're going to have the cake cutting around, we'll say 3-ish, just to celebrate the 2 years. And then it's 30% off all day, except Tula, on all fabric, except Tula. And then Tuesday's baby lock sale. Nope. Thursday's baby lock sale. Friday's Janome sale. Saturday's the rest of the store sale. How's that?
Busy week here.
And happy Halloween Eve. I hope you guys have fun. I'm not going to give my address out on here, but I'll just tell you, we live on
For
Putter.
songs.
And if you guys want to come see a cool, super fun decorated house, bring the kids of a certain age. My son's 5 and he's not scared. So just for the record, but we got candy and I want some trick-or-treaters. So come see us. But I hope you guys are going to celebrate safely. So have fun.
Yeah. So on your way home from trunk or treat, wherever you're going for that,
Yeah, there's
Stop and
probably
Shop.
trunk or treats going on tomorrow, and
Yeah.
I'm all for trunk or treats. I love it, but my neighborhood is like there's only one entrance. It's super safe, and so I like doing the old school
Hmm.
trick or treating.
Yeah.
You know, we take my son and we knock on the doors that have the light on or the door cracked open or decorated, you know, and the other ones we just keep on walking by.
I think one of my favorite memories from when my kids were little was I'm not a big Halloween person, but my husband is, and he used to do big haunted houses and always did things, and so we would go out trick or treating. I just can remember him holding the hands of my two boys walking along, and they've got their bags in, and I know my husband's just waiting to get home and kind of
Snag some candy.
some of his favorite.
I'm like,
candy.
yeah, get the Twix. Awesome. All right, let me put this on so we can say goodbye because we've gone almost an hour.
Oh my goodness.
It's my fault, not yours. I tend to babble. Just in case you guys didn't see Frank the Rabbit, and I don't have the full outfit on, but happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Live to create.
Live to create.
How you like that?
Okay.
Take care, everybody.
See you all next week.
We'll see you next week.